Hello, welcome to the. Oh, yeah, myself. Right, there we go. Right, hello, welcome to the Slav Talk Racing League third race of the championship here in Austria. We had a great race last time out in Belgium, if I'm not mistaken, and we're looking for another incredible race here at Austria. Cars coming back out onto the track here. Raikkonen coming out onto the track, as well as Derek Quay. We have G Shifty as well, just coming out behind his teammate, as well as the Mercedes of Waits, who's on track at the moment as well. Yeah, I'm your commentator today, Joseph Singh, and you're watching Slav Talk Racing League at 7:45 in the evening here in the UK on Twitch, or if you're watching on YouTube, you might be watching this at 12:30 in the UK on the YouTube premiere. Hopefully so. Yeah, hopefully we have a good race today. It was a great race last time out, and we're looking for more of the same action today. I'm just going to hook my controller up so I can flick through the drivers a bit quicker and overall give you a better experience in terms of the laps. We have Mercedes on his first lap in qualifying. We'll cut to him once I plug this wire in, which I will have done now. I think as well I'm meant to be commentating on a tournament soon as well, but I'll more update on that closer to the time. We have Raikkonen on his lap on board with the Williams. There was a great battle between Arius and Flobolob at the end of the Belgian Grand Prix. Derek Quay, we have Mercedes of Waits, who's on hard tyres here in this qualifying session. In fact, he set the benchmark second sector time. Let's see what he does at the end of this lap. So, down the last corner, using as much of the track as he possibly can, nearly invalidating that last corner, but he sets the benchmark out at 1:04.5. We have Zach starting, yes it is, so the next car across the line will be Flobolob ending it out lap. We have, I think, not the Sauber, one of the McLarens. It's not, Mental Sun. Mental Sun, the man who's taken pole in every race so far. Half a second ahead of Waits and half a second ahead of G Shifty, who goes 200ths of a second faster than Waltz in the Mercedes, or Waits in the Mercedes, should I say. Next up is one of the Ferraris. It's Luco Stewart, who doesn't set a better time. At the moment, we have the Aston Martin of Flobolob potentially, or no, it's Ben Olds over the line and going to P5 with a 1:05.4. Decent lap by him. We have a Mercedes coming to line. Is that Arius? It is, or Brias, should I say. Brias has invalidated though, so that lap time won't count to anything. There's a spinning Sauber of K9 Cube who has gone round. Silent Assassin coming to the line. He has an Aston Martin behind him, goes to P6, and was that Flobolob? It was. Flobolob's second, 28 thousandths off the pole time. Very close battle at the top of the times early in qualifying. We have Brias looking like he's on another lap here, potentially. He invalidated the last lap, so hopefully he can set a representative time. This time, second time lucky. We have Luke O'Shooks not invalidating at the last corner, going over the line and going to P6. And 200ths ahead of Bernolds. Martin of Bernolds is coming out, and it looks like he's starting a lap in qualifying. More Brias out to the last corner, pedal to the floor, and up to P6. Behind his teammate and behind Derek Quay by 0.02 of a second. The smallest gaps as Waits just went over the line. The other Mercedes on hard tyres, remember, and he is only a 10th off of pole. So that he is a force to be reckoned with here today. We have the Red Bull of Silent Assassin over the line, not improving. We have Bernolds doing donuts at turn 3. What a bit of slide there. We have the Aston Martin just letting the Mercedes through. I think we have a Ferrari on our lap potentially. Is it 6? He's 2 seconds down to. Oh no, he's run out of fuel. So he is definitely on an in lap. I'm just going to move the flow thing. I just realised blocking the map a little bit. And just make that a little bit better. It didn't block the map last time out, but this time it is. There we go. Right, that should be a little bit better for you all on the screen. Should move my. Not the way the game was playing. So it is 25 today. Actually, they'll both fit under here, won't they? I'm just going to sneak them in here then. As you can see, Brickcard, I'm going to be at Brickcard Donington, so you can join that. And as well, I've realised the adverts were a bit big last time out as well, so I'm going to kind of make them a bit smaller here today. But they are still definitely there. Right, so, next one on the lap, on an out lap is Raikkonen, and everyone is either, so no one's on a flying lap at the moment. And everyone who is 10th or lower are still yet to set a lap time. And I reckon everyone from 7th lower can set a better time than they have at the moment. So none of these times are going to really be representative. This field is definitely subject to change. We have Raikkonen, the 2014. I was going to try and make a Kimi Raikkonen 2014 joke there, but never mind. Last sector done for Raikkonen, and it's apparently purple. So he's looking to improve. Up the order. The number 2 Williams looking like he's going to go a bit quicker than Logan Sargent, who was the last person to have the number 2 on his Williams in real life F1. Of course, we have the number 2 McLaren winning in cockpit real racing yesterday in Belgium. So the number 2 won yet in a league race yesterday. Can the number 2 win again here today? Only time will tell. Out of the last corner and over the line for Raikkonen, who goes to P9 ahead of Silent Assassin. Alan invalidated. We have a sub of K9 Cube, who's also invalidated. Arimas now, second sector's purple. He's at a 44.5 if I'm not mistaken. And he's now coming around into the penultimate corner. Is this going to be the lap for Arimas? He nearly spins and bottles the entire lap. But over the line he goes, and it is P4. Very respectable, and exactly a 10th behind the man in P3. So very close gaps again. Mr. Towers now coming over the line and setting the times alight as well. He was the man of the hour in Brazil, coming back from a massive crash in Brazil. Having a pretty decent race in Belgium. Looking for a bit more glory here in Austria at the Red Bull's ring, the A1 ring as it used to be called. We have Flobolob in the pits. We have potentially Alan and K9 Cube have both invalidated their lap times. So they won't be able to improve at all. We have Raikkonen over the line, looking to set another time. We have an Aston Martin of Bernolds ending an outlap. We have Derek Quaid going up the order by only a couple hundredths ahead of Mr. Towers. Both Mercedes going over the line. One of them doesn't move, the other one is ending an outlap. Yeah, they both end outlaps. Half a second up for Luco 6. Is he going to be able to get up the order? We'll find out now, and he does. He goes to P7 after improving his lap time by 7 tenths, and he goes a mere 6 thousandths behind Derek Quay. No, I've got that wrong. A mere... what's the maths on that one? I'm not too sure, but it's a very tight gap, I must say so myself. I think it's under 100, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to work out that gap now. Over 100. It's 14 thousandths of a second between Luke Hughes and get it away. Matt's not really working the best there. It's P9 for Benoit, who's gone just under a tenth behind Luke Siux. We have a new pole sitter by 0.3 of a second. Well, Waltz. Waits, should I say. He'll wait no more. He'll take pole by a storming amount. He was only a tenth of pole on the hard tyres, but on the soft tyres, he's right up the order. He looks like he is going to dominate today if he can keep this pace up. Devon's there helping me out with the maths on the gap between 7th and 8th. Haven't done maths since GCSE, so that was about half a year ago. So I'm struggling with the mathematics here. But as we move on, we have Silent Assassin. We have Alan ending an outlap. Silent Assassin ending an outlap. Bernald's ending an invalid lap. Prius, we have Waits coming into the pits after that storming pole lap. Prius now behind one of the McLaren cars, who has invalidated. The B car coming to the line, that would be Mental Sun, who is improving, but maybe not by enough, depending on if he has a weak spot in these last two corners that he can resurge in terms of gaining time back. Let's see, he's going over the line. It's not a 1 minute 3, it's it is a 1 minute 3.9. He's 700s up. He is into the 1 minute 3 margin now, but he's not near the pole time. 2/10 away at the moment. We have one of the records of Silent Assassin almost assassinating one of the Williams cars. That is Alan, if I'm not mistaken. Flobberlob to P2 and a mere 600s away from pole. Incredible stuff between those two. Alan now heading around the 6th corner. Purple sector 2 now. Can Alan serve us a treat here? He's leaving, so maybe he's not on a proper lap. K9 Cube though, he is on the lap. Let's stay with him on board. Goes into time 4, you want to nibble that apex like it's your favourite Fredo. And go around and break at the 15-meter board. Put that curve and then run out wide. Carry the momentum all the way around. These two left-handers on the track. Out here, just climbing the hill. And then commit to these two corners like it's your dream job. And then careful to not go off the track. Good track limits on here, and then go over the line for a 1 minute 6.0. He's ahead of Silent Assassin by half a second, but he is behind Raikkonen by half a second in turn. So, meanwhile, Silent Assassin looks like he's trying to improve, but one of the Williams cars behind him. He's improving by a lot, I must say so myself. Right, we head round turn 6 and turn 7. See, I think one of the Hasses are on a lap. That could be Mr. Towers. No, he is on an out lap. We have one of the Ferraris and one of the Williams coming out, so that will be... Who is that going to be? That will be Luke Siux and Raikkonen. No, it'll be Alan. Luke Siux and Alan coming out onto laps. Arimus goes half a second down on his personal best lap. He's not able to get as close to the track here as he would like. Now heading up into the next corner, 1.3 seconds down it's saying. Although that could be wrong, because it didn't look all that slow. Bernald's half a second up, that keeps him P10 at the moment. Got one of the Mercedes coming up the pit lane. That looks to be Waltz, and it is. We have Mr. Towers ending his outlap. We have, I think, Arimus on the lap, potentially. Let's have a look. Heading around this next corner. Flying through with authority here. Pink helmet on the Red Bull, and he is coming into the pits. We have one of the Williams, is that Raikkonen, who is, according to this, 3.5 seconds down, and yeah, it looks like he's backing off of this lap. We have Luke Siux on an out lap. We have Benoit, potentially, Benoit. I think he's also either on an out or an in lap. Look, he's flying through to hit the 1 minute marker. Let's see what kind of lap we can set then. We have weights coming to the line. Let's have a look at a lap then with weights. That's right on board with the Mercedes man in the purple helmet. Up into turn 1, braking at the 80-meter mark. Heading around turn 1, clipping that curve nicely and then just powering away from it, running away from that corner like it's a predator running after you. And into the next corner, braking hard. Carry the car through, careful with the elevation as it acts a bit like a ramp to try and catch the car out and spin it. The car goes very light on the exit of that corner and it can cause a lot of wheel spin and in turn spin the car. Round turn 4, get to the 35-second marker in the lap, hit the 50-meter board, and then go flying around turn 5. Keep the momentum and the speed for as long as you can. Keep the average speed as high as you can. 64 thousandths up on his lap so far. Yeah, looks going up to P6. But the Mercedes of Waltz, the pole sitter, it looks like he's going to be on pole by a bit more now. Over the line, he took a 1 minute 3.6. He goes a full 10th up. That is incredible. But there are a couple more outlaps at the moment that we need to watch out for. One of them being Mr. Towers. He's currently P9, but I reckon he has a better lap under his skin. He's carrying a lap, he isn't actually on a lap. Derek Quay is on a lap, but not improving by a substantial amount. We have a couple people on outlaps. We have K9 Cube as well on a lap. Silent Assassin starting a lap. I think Alan is on a lap, if I'm not mistaken. He's heading around turn 6. He's hit the 50-second marker on his lap and he's now got about 10 seconds to get to the line to improve on his time and get into the mix here in qualifying. Out of the last corner for Raikkonen. Can he set a decent time? He goes up to P11, beating his teammate by half a second. Great lap there. Meanwhile, we have Derek Quay. Looks like he's starting another lap. We have Waits in the pits after that incredible lap. We have a Williams going slowly. I reckon that's Alan. Waits out of the session. He's not going to do anything else in the session because he knows he should be safe for at least the top 5 at worst. Meanwhile, we have K9 Cube doing a better lap, but splitting the Williams cars. We have Mental Sun. Did he just try and do a lap? He did, but he's down in P3 at the moment. He's trying to set a lap now. A couple people on the finishing part of their laps now. So we have 400s up for Bryus. Can Bryus take the righteous crown around the last corner? Over the white line and invalidating. That looks to be such a promising lap for Bryus, but it comes undone at the last corner. The Aston Martin of, I believe that was Flovelov. Looks like he improved very minorly, if he did improve. Meanwhile, we have G Shifty looking to shift into a better position. Currently P7, can he go off the order? Yes, he can. He goes to P6, pushing Luxiux down to P7 and pushing Luxiux alongside his teammate on the fourth row on the grid. We have Mental Sun, he's on a lap and hitting. He aborts the lap. Shock. As K9 Cube also hits. We have, I think that's it in qualifying. Mental Sun retiring from the session. It looks like he wasn't improving. As K9 Cube over the line in the pits. So that is the end of the session. We're waiting for K9 Cube and Alan to be put into their pit boxes. And that will be the end of qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix here in Slav Talk Racing League. That was quite hectic, I must say so myself. Not too bad though, there wasn't any major dramas. It was a very calm and collected qualifying. Drivers did what they could, I'm assuming. I'm not too sure what happened to Psycho in the Haas, who's currently in P15. He didn't set a lap time. So I'm not too sure what happened there, I'm not too sure if there was a quali ban or something. But he did not set a lap time. So the top two separated by just under 0.2 of a second. And very tight gap between the Mercedes Bryce and G Shifty. It's a couple hundreds there, I must say so myself. Also 500 separate Mr. Tower from Derek Quay as well. And yeah, very tight gaps in the field, I must say so myself. We're in for a great race here in Austria. I think Austria, it brings out the best in drivers because it's not a particularly difficult track. It's one of the shortest tracks on the calendar, if not the shortest. And as you can see, the lap times are the shortest. And the track itself doesn't really bear too much challenge as its own, as a car doing a lap on its own. But when you have another 14 cars racing around you, like these drivers are going to experience, it does become a very different challenge. As the racecraft you have to have around here, it has to be high, because otherwise you just end up spinning and crashing. And the lap time consistency as well, it has to be on form, because otherwise you just end up at the back of the grids, not knowing, just hoping for a safety car, which may or may not come depending on circumstances. We are waiting for the race to start. Let's have a look at the drivers' standings then. After Brazil and after Belgium, the driver standings. So it is Mental Sun in the lead of the championship by 46 points. Oh no, he has 46 points, but he is only 1 point ahead of Bryus. So a battle for the lead of the championship, separated by 1 point. Flobbelob on 29 points, so he has a little bit more to try and... He has a bit of a steeper mountain to climb compared to Bryus. And then Graham on 22 points in the McLaren. I think that will be G Shifty. So G Shifty is Graham. So Graham Shifty, I can call him now. As then in 5th in the championship is Arimus. He is the man starting 4th in the grid today in the Red Bull. And then we have Jay Beauty, who I believe is K9Q in the lobby, who is currently 6th in the championship, tied on points with Derek Quay in the McLaren. Then comes the 2 Williams cars. David in the Williams on 14 points ahead of his teammate Raikkonen, who is on 10 points. And to round out the top 10 in this championship, we have Daruku. I might be butchering that name, apologies, but he is on 8 points, ending up the top 10 in this championship. So let's see what we can do. We have Mental Sun, the man who's leading the standings, currently in P3. We have Bryus quite a way down. He's in P5 today on the grid. And then we have Flobbelob up in P2 at the moment. So the championship could swing anyway, in any driver's favour. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. We have a car quite far back. That is Silent Assassin, very far back compared to the rest of the drivers. He is looking to freeze the other drivers' tyres before the start of the grid. He might need to catch up here, because otherwise he might get a penalty. Well, I'm not too sure if there is a penalty in this league for being too slow on the formation lap. I'll have to read up on that one. But we have the number 2 Williams of Raikkonen lining up into P13. He has the Haas of Psycho and Silent Assassin both behind him. And as we go up the grid, that is the Mercedes in front. Waits now looking to go all the way and take the win from pole position. But he has Flobbelob next to him. Flobbelob in second. Let's see what happens. 5 lights on. And we are away, and it's a decent start by the front 2. Terrible start. It's a great start by one of the McLarens, Derek Quay, on the inside of his teammate, and also on the inside of one of the Ferraris. It's a very... they all just about managed to get through turn 1 without any problems from what I can see. They're 3 wide further back. We have the McLaren of Derek Quay battling for the move. The Haas and Mr. Towers there going a little bit wide, but they are all pointing in the right direction, as Flobbelob not able to get the lead from Waits there. Mental Sun keeping third. The top 5 are as they are. The top 3 are as they are. Bryce has taken Arimus. So P4 for Bryce, the man who is second in the championship. K9 Cube on the inside of the Williams of Raikkonen. And in turn, there's a battle behind of Silent Assassin having a battle with Benolds. Also, Psycho in the Haas, he's dropped back a little bit far as well. Aston Martin a floor ball up here, looking for the move on Mental Sun. Nothing much there being done. Waits over the line, setting the fastest lap on the first lap with a 1:09.3. 1 minute 9.3 second lap time. We have all the cars fighting their way through turn 1. Not a lot of battles to report on at the moment. We have the Aston Martin of Flobbelob heading around turn 3 now with DRS on the Mercedes. He's now going to head into turn 4 looking for a move. We have K9 Cube battling again, and Alan as well being passed by his teammate. So Alan looks like he might have made a mistake at turn 3. He's lost 2 positions. His teammate now looking for a move on K9 Cube, but not going to get it. The Williams looking for the point paying positions, which is 10th or above. K9 Cube currently being the man stopping the Williams crew from getting any points. Silent Assassin losing the place to Benolds. He looks like he's had a trip through the gravel and through the sandy stuff, and that has put him in P14. We have the Red Bull of Arimus now looking to make a move on Bryce. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to though, heading around turn 1. It looks like they're all just kind of spaced out, although the battle for the lead is heating up. Flobbelob to the inside is back in the lead. He's the man who won in Belgium, and he's the man who will take the lead here in Austria. We'll have to wait a bit longer for the lead to be his. And although he took pole, he's now going to try and take the lead back as all there's contact between the pair of them. Struggling a little bit there with the camera angles, but there was a bit of contact there, and I think that has put Waits a bit off there. And Mental Sun now climbing on the back of him. Mental Sun now in a bit of a Mercedes sandwich, but Waits there being attacked the lead. He tried to fight back, but it looks like he made contact with a little bit of a clumsy dive down the inside, and it looked like it put the car a little bit on a slide on the exit of turn 4, and that could be why Mental Sun was all over him heading into turn 5, although he had to back out because it's such a fast corner around there. And we head out of turn 1 then, take number 2 in this battle, which could be the story of the race, into turn 3. The number 25 of Waits out of turn 3 into the 4th corner. This is going to be the part of the track where we see the most overtakes today, from my experience and knowledge of this track. Turn 3 and turn 4 are going to be the places where the order changes the most. Lap 4 of 36. 32 laps to go. 31 laps to go when we cross the line. Also, there's a bit of a train forming with K9 Cube, as you can see, holding up the 2 Williams, his own teammate, the Aston Martin Benolds, and Silent Assassin. So a lot of cars being held up in this train. Meanwhile, in the train for the lead of the race, the Aston Martin looking behind. It looks like it was a pretty heated battle back in Belgium between Bryce and Flobbelob. And it was Bryce trying to get ahead of Flobbelob on that occasion. Now it's Waits' turn to have a go on the inside of Flobbelob. He takes them both off the track. Mental Sun goes through. He takes the ticket to the lead with absolute glee. Flobbelob has lost the lead and not to Waits. Waits has lost 4 positions from that move. He went for the lead and he's now in 5th. That move has cost him dearly. It looks like he's not very confident under the braking. And because he just went really deep, he just didn't even make the corner. The car just went straight on, and he will be kicking himself with that one. He will now wait even longer for a move for the lead of the race, because he is now taking himself out of second, taking Flobberlob to second, and taking Mental Sun from third to first on lap 5. So Mental Sun leads lap 5. We have the third person, third different race leader, should I say. But he is no longer going to be the race leader for, because Flobberlob, he's now going to be driving with a little bit of rage here. We have a bit of side-by-side action with Waits and Arimus. Arimus now looking to make a move, but not able to. He gets a little bit of a nudge there from the Ferrari. Luxius takes the back of Arimus, loosens Ferrari up, and now is down a place. So now K9Q defending from Raikkonen. Raikkonen on the faster medium tyres compared to the harder tyres for K9Q, and K9Q gets past into turn 4. Nothing that he could do about that. Raikkonen just came steaming through, and that is a decent move there. On board now with the Aston Martin of Flobberlob. 6/10 separating him from the place that he was in earlier on 2 laps ago. 30 laps, just under 30 laps to go now. Who will come out on top in this battle for the lead? It looks like the Mercedes are getting very close to each other. They look like they are one of the closest battles on track. The battle between the Mercedes is almost as close as the battle for 10th place between Raikkonen and K9Q. And actually, I think there's a move being made. Yes, there is. K9Q looking for the move. We're right on board with the Sauber car. Nothing made into turn 1. And he gets a penalty for track limit, as well as Luxius. So now heading into turn 3. I said this would be the place where the most overtake would be made, and here comes another one. Lap 7. K9Q on the inside again, making it stake, but taking both of them off the track. And just like the battle for the lead, the man who was behind them both goes through, and Bernolds goes through as well. So Allen goes from 12th to 10th, Bernolds goes up to 11th, and Raikkonen has gone from 11th to 14th because Silent Assassin has just snuck through like a smooth criminal. That was incredible racecraft by the drivers behind to avoid any more contacts. But K9Q doing what Waits did in a couple laps ago to the Aston Martin. Meanwhile, here comes the Mercedes battle. Now 10 years ago, the Mercedes battled on the final lap in real life Austria. That was Hamilton and Rosberg. But now Bryce and Waits swap positions with a little bit less drama this time, as we look from behind the Mercedes and Bryce has let him go. So Waits is now back in the action, and Mental Sun loses the lead to Flobberlob. Flobberlob back in the lead. He gets redemption for what happened to him a couple laps ago, and he has the lead again. The number 99 Aston Martin ahead of the 88 V-Cab. Meanwhile, Silent Assassin has just overtaken the number 2 Williams of Raikkonen. Raikkonen now in P14. I think Silent Assassin got overtaken by Raikkonen momentarily, but it didn't last long. Meanwhile, Arimus looks like he's closing up on Bryce as well now. But it looks like just one big train of cars, one big DRS train, which is the flap on the rear wing opening. The only time you're allowed to use it is in a dedicated zone when you're within 1 second of the driver in front in terms of gap. So that's why you're not seeing the rear wing on the Aston Martin be open, but you're seeing it open on all the other cars behind. But the only thing is, when the leader is quicker in the corners, he's able to pull a gap, and it just creates this sort of train-like atmosphere where all the cars are just following each other and not able to make moves, and some of them get close but not close enough to have a move without making a crash. And here's Waits then, he's waiting patiently, biding his time, hoping to make a move cleaner than he did before Bernolds is off. Bernolds is off. He was battling with K9Q for 11th place, but now he's watching over his shoulders. Silent Assassin now is looking at 12th place thinking, oh yeah, I could do with that one. As Bernolds going a little bit wide there, this is only hurting his chances of keeping 12th here on lap 9. As Arimus has been passed by G Shifty, and that's because Arimus has pit, along with Luxius. As Arimus gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, drama for the Red Bull with 26 laps to go. Kim and Luxius pit. we didn't get a penalty in that number 2 Ferrari, but the number 25, that is, of Arimas gets ahead, but he does also get a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I don't think he'll be able to take that one off either. In some leagues they allow it and they're lenient with it, in other leagues they're not lenient with it. Meanwhile, Waits isn't being lenient with Mental Sun, he's going all the way around the outside, and it's a beautiful move. All the way around the outside turn 4, using the momentum to his advantage on his medium tyres. Meanwhile, here is Flobberlob, the leader. Here is Mental Sun, who's just lost the lead on lap 8. He's now lost second place here on lap 10. And he's going to dive into the pits, it looks like. Him and Bryce are both in the pits, and they have reacted to the undercut attempt by Arimas and Luke Osiux. So let's see how this plays out. Let's have a look with on board with Osiux. Will he be able to get ahead of Bryce as there's yellow flags? Not too sure as to why. I think that is just a little bit of a game glitch there as we have Arimas getting ahead as Flobberlob and Waits there. Are they battling? I think so. Let me just check. Yes, they are battling. So Waits looking for a move, not going to get it, heading into turn 4. As Flobberlob now ahead of the Mercedes. This Aston Martin of Flobberlob, he's been battling Mercedes all the way through this season so far. As with that undercut attempt, it worked on Arimas on Bryce. So Arimas has now overcut Bryce. But he wasn't able to get Mental Sun though, but of course Arimas has that 10-second penalty, which Bryce won't worry about, really. Bryce can just stay within that gap. He's more worried about Mental Sun. Meanwhile, Bryce, his teammate, has got into the pits, taking the lead momentarily, but then lost it again. And let's see, will Waits be able to come out ahead of Mental Sun? Of course, he hit the last lap, so let's keep an eye on this decal. That turquoise dot that is nearest to the finish line, that is Waits. But let's see if the decal can come out ahead. It's going to be very tight between the pair of them, as we see. I think there was battling further back between Bryce and Benolds. And look at that, they come out virtually side by side. Waits and Mental Sun. Mental Sun should have the move heading into turn 2. But Waits actually, he has the inside line. And this could be the move. Oh, there's near the contact. Wait, what a move by Mental Sun to keep ahead of Waits. Although, on board with the Mercedes, DRS for the silver car on the white Red Bull branded car, but he's not able to do it because round the outside for Mental Sun again. For the second time in 2 corners, Mental Sun goes round the outside. Now he has the inside line, but he isn't able to carry the momentum, and there's contact, and round for Mercedes and Waits. He made contact when going round the outside of Mental Sun, and he spins off a turn 6. And nearly spins again. Incredible drama here in Slav Racing League. We now have Mental Sun, who was involved in that incident. I'm not too sure who caused it. We might have to see if we can get a replay of it. Heading round the first corner then, Alan ahead of Mental Sun. I would be surprised if Mental Sun wasn't going to be fought for this by Alan. On board with Alan. Yeah, he doesn't really fight that too much. We look from behind here. There's contact. Both Mercedes making contact in the last 2 laps. There's now Bryce making contact, not with Mental Sun, but with Alan. And Alan now nearly having a huge crash with the Ferrari of Luxius, who now shoves him off to the gravel. And now through goes Arimas. As meanwhile, Derek Quay is round, I'm pretty sure. Or is that G Shifty? It is G Shifty, Graham Shifty, who was second and looking to undercut the drivers behind who have pitted. He's now spun up and ruined that undercut attempt. So now it's only Flobberlob who needs to pit and try and come out ahead of the drivers behind. But yeah, absolute drama then in this pit stop phase, with many mistakes coming in on those warm tyres. I said that this track would bring out the best in drivers, but it can also bring out some of the clumsiness in them as well, as we can see here in Slav today. as we have Alan and Arimus side by side. Arimus gets ahead of the Williams. The Williams has a little look, and he actually has a bit more of a look now. The number 11 Williams looking for the move on the number 28 Red Bull, but the Williams not able to make it stick. The Red Bull now looking to have a move on Mr. Tower, the comeback king from Brazil. He did reasonably well in Star as well. He's now in P5 at the moment. Well, I'm not too sure if he has pitted yet. Let me check on the graphics. There we go. So yeah, he has pitted. So Canine Cube has pitted twice. He must have had damage somewhere. As you can see, the man who is currently in the lead of this race hasn't pit, along with the man in 7th, along with the man in 9th, along with the man in 12th. Everyone else has pit at least once, and actually now Alan's in the pits. Bernald has got past Waits because Bernald is pitting. So there's two of the 4 drivers who hadn't pitted are now in the pits doing their pit stop. Psycho Leds also hasn't pitted up until now. He's under AI control though, as he has had connection issues with the server. So now it is and round for Canine Cube. He went sideways on the exit of turn 5, the same place that Waits had a crash with Mental Sun at in a couple laps ago. Let's see with Flobberlob then, here on lap 15, is he finally going to come into the pits, or is he going to go up for yet another lap? He's losing too much time, I reckon, but is he going to be able to gain it back? Who's off? That's one of the Salvers. That is Canine Cube around into the pits, just about meeting the speed limit off the pit lane. And that is that done. Meanwhile, G-Shifty has just got past Bernald, so the Chrome McLaren ahead of the leaders, the former leader's teammate, Bryce and Mental Sun go past. So I reckon that most of the drivers who pit earlier on in the race may be looking at 2-stop. Flobberlob looking for either a late 2-stop or potentially even a 1-stop on what I believe to be hard tyres. So he's looking to gain that time back that he lost by staying out. He's looking to gain it back in the end on slightly fresher hard tyres, which in my opinion are the prime tyres. They'll have a longer prime time in terms of they won't puncture for longer. Compared to the mediums, as meanwhile we have the Williams battling. We have Alan going ahead of his teammate Raikkonen. We have Canine Cube round again. He's spinning at turn 7. I'm surprised that hasn't caused a safety car yet. Off multiple times. Here comes the Aston Martin. The Flobberlob, he needs to be held up. Not at all. Here comes Waits as well. He needs to try and get back to Flobberlob, and preferably back to Mental Sun, as he has had a couple of those to deal with. Someone just hit. That was Canine Cube hitting for the 3rd time in 17 laps. So we're nearly halfway through this race. We have the McLaren's Canine Cube retires in the pit lane. He retires the responsible way, as side by side between the Mercedes and the McLaren. Through goes Waits. Meanwhile, Arimus to the inside of Mr. Tower. Mr. Tower not letting him have it. I'm going to take that off for now. Put the penalties up so you can see which battles mean which. So Arimus just looking for track position here, and also looking to hopefully gain more time over his rivals behind. Goes into the 6th corner then. Not a lot happening at the moment. Just looking behind here, we have Flobberlob looking for a move. Flobberlob looking for a move on the Red Bull. He's closed up a lot on Arimus through that last sector. Flobberlob doesn't have a penalty yet as well, so all these moves he's making, he is on aggregate, he's in P4 right now, but in terms of track position, he is P6. Make that P5 is to the outside and to 5th place for the Aston Martin. He gets ahead. The number 99 car, the highest number on the number list in F1, the number entry list, should I say, the highest number on that is now going higher up the orders, down the inside of Mr. Towers. Oh, that was a risky one, but he is going to make it. Mr. Towers almost lets him have it, as it was a late move by Flobberlob, but he made the move stick. Meanwhile, Flobberlob's teammate just got a penalty for multiple warnings. There's a battle brewing here between the 10th, 11th and 12th positions, and wide for the Williams. That's going to invite Bernolds to close up on the medium tyres. Bernolds on the fresher medium tyres, but with 6 seconds of penalties. So Raikkonen on aggregate is in P10, but in terms of track position, it is Graham Shifty, who spun earlier on at the part of the track that he just passed. He's now in P11 on aggregate. Meanwhile, we have the Aston Martin of Flobberlob looking. We have a couple trains here, don't we? A couple groups as Bernolds getting past the Williams of Raikkonen into turn 1. Lob gets ahead of Luxiux. So Luxiux losing the place to Flobberlob. And now the chase is on for the lead of the race, for the man in third in Aston Martin. We have Brias and Mental Sun, the championship leaders in front, but Flobberlob on pressure hard tyres. Looks like he has the pace to really send moves and make gains in this championship fight. He is third, and he is third by a bit of a way, but he is by no means out of it. There's Flobberlob, who lost the win in Belgium due to a penalty, now looking for redemption. He hasn't got a penalty yet, but neither has Brias and neither has Mental Sun. The two men in the top 2 positions at the moment are the only two men in this season to win races. Mental Sun won in Brazil after a Grand Slam performance, and then Brias capitalising on Mental Sun's mistake at Le Mans midway through the race and taking the win after holding off, or after trying to get ahead of Flobberlob on track, but then capitalising on the penalty later on. And that's why it's very important in this league, because in this league they're very strict, the stewards are. They're very strict with taking penalties off. They will not take a penalty off unless it is a genuine game malfunction and not just someone who's gone over the speed limit by 1 mile an hour. That penalty will still count. They're very cutthroat with it compared to other leagues such as ALR and Ashbowl. So the drivers have to be on typically top form to avoid getting penalties. One man who's learning the hard way race is Alimus, the owner of Slav Racing. He currently owns the harshest penalty on the moment, but he is looking to own a higher position at the end of the race. Mr. Towers is looking to own 4th place. Off Luxiux, a little bit of contact there with the Ferrari. The Ferrari spins into the wall, and Luxiux crashes here at the exit of turn 4 and goes from 4th and 7th, make that 8th, potentially even 9th after he hits for damage. Meanwhile, DRS for the Williams. Is he going to make a move to the inside? Oh, he runs into the back of the McLaren. That was clumsy by Alan. Gonna have to be a little bit more cautious there. Does he have wing damage from it? Somehow no. Very surprised to not see some of that front wing falling off. But moving on, we have Mental Sun catching up to Psycho, Leds to Black. 14 cars left in this race out of the 15 that started. As Luxiux out of the session in the pit lane. Again, another responsible retirement that doesn't need any race intervention, which is almost etiquette here in this league. Enforced etiquette, should I say. Meanwhile, we have Raikkonen. Now we have Alan looking for a move on Graham Shifty, who's had a bit of a tough race so far, and he looks to try and have a redemption of some sort, but now he's got to be looking over his shoulder because Alan is looking at that 8th place thinking, yay, I need that. As into the pits for Silent Assassin. We have the number 11 Williams catching up to the number 3 McLaren. We're going to look further down the order though, because Mental Sun, Briar should I say, gets breezed past by Flobbelob. Flobbelob goes flying past without hesitation, without any battling. I am surprised that Bryce didn't fight that, but he's probably conserving his tyres to try and capitalise strategy-wise over Flobbelob. I'm not too sure though. That was very easily done, a lot easier than Mr. Towers and Arimas are making it for each other. Because Mr. Towers has just gone wide, and now Arimas is going to use this inside line, which is a shorter route to the next corner. He's now going to hope to carry momentum around the outside, but no, he's not able to. And Mr. Towers is still ahead on track. Meanwhile, there's battling with the Williams of Allen. Adding insult to injury for Graham Shifty. Shifty gets passed into 9th place, but on aggregate, because of the penalties, you can see Allen will be pushed down the order. We have into the pits for Waits. It's a Mercedes double stack. Have they timed this right? Have a look into the pits. Allen goes one, in goes the other with a little bit of a hold up, but not a lot. Great double stack by the Brackley-based team. They've done that a couple times in real life F1. And even in sim racing, they're able to perfect it, and they both come out only behind Derek Way and Arimas. And that's very nicely done by the Brackley squad. And meanwhile, we have G Shifty still trying to keep that Williams in 9th place. He's now going to try on the inside of turn 3, but that's the DRS line that he just went over. And now he's going to be able to get this orange rear wing open now, and that will give him more straight line speed to catch up to the Williams, who isn't allowed to open his rear wing. So now he doesn't make a move. I'm surprised by that. He broke later as well, so I'm surprised he didn't at least try a little bit of a dive. Mental Sun has just been passed for the lead because he's in the pits. Mental Sun in the pits. It doesn't show the guys in the pits when they're making pit stops. That's interesting. Okay, so Mental Sun out of the pits behind Arimas. Meanwhile, we have the Derek Way ahead of Bryus here on lap 25. Just over 10 laps to go. The battle for net P3 in the race is Mr. Towers and Arimas. Arimas looking for the move, and he goes to the inside. Downshifts and takes the move on the inside, although the Haas to the inside. And is he back up into on track second place? Not yet. He's having a look to the inside and he squeezes through. Incredible. Mr. Towers, don't say it's over until it's over, because Mr. Towers can find a way through, and Arimas having a look for the move on the inside of turn 9, not making it stick. And he now bails into the pits looking for the overcut on Mr. Towers. Let's see how Mr. Towers reacts to it. Mental Sun now pushing to try and capitalise on a potential overcut on Flobbelob. So let's see. Or an undercut, should I say, on Flobbelob. But Flobbelob has fresher tyres. Flobbelob, if he can carry those tyres far enough, he could use... Oh wow, what's that? If he could soft tyre them, and if he is able to, then that is absolutely beautiful for him. And I think that could be what his plan was from the start, to carry those hard tyres far enough. They are hard tyres, aren't they? Yeah, they're hard tyres. He wants to carry them far enough to be able to use them near the end of the race. That would be Evans, a yellow flag is that Allen spins on the top of turn 3, the highest corner on the racetrack, and has been a victim of a spin, and it is Allen in the Williams. As Mental Sun gets past the Haas as there's a double stack at Haas, and this could clinch this battle for Arimas. There's Arimas, here he is, in the Red Bull, there is quite also in the pits. Here comes Arias, up around 3 corners, stepping on the throttle, powering towards the pit exit, but no, it's out. And out by a mile. I think, yeah, Arias, he served that 10-second penalty in that pit stop. That's why the gap between him and Mr. Towers is enormous now. Even with the double stack holder, or his last teammate. Incredible. There's Floblock. Here he is. He is not coming to the pitch cap. He could be going into potentially lap 20. He could be going to lap 30 at this rate. This is incredible, but I was saying Davin's in chat. I missed this earlier, but Davin's known as Retro Racing and Green Army. He's complimented the qualifying, saying what a lap by the pole sitter of, and I believe it was Wade. And he also said what a qualifying as well. So yeah, as if you're watching on the YouTube currently, I'm not able to see any comments on there until afterwards. I'm not able to say them now, but here on lap 28, it's been a decent race, I have to say so myself. Arias sets the fastest lap of the race on those new tyres, those new medium tyres, with just under 8 laps to go. As Alan gets back ahead, Alan in the pits. He goes on to another set of medium tyres. And he come out just ahead of Alan Assassin, I believe. That's Floblob just in front, that isn't Reynolds. So Floblob for lap Williams. But crucially, Arimus should get ahead. No. Sorry, myself and say he should get ahead, but he doesn't. So, as meanwhile, the other William, the Raikkonen, having to go on the other Aston Martin, the that's out of it. And meanwhile, the William moves out of the way, but he can't go that slow because Simon the Assassin is out on his tail. So we'll have to watch out for that one. Meanwhile, the other Williams, you see them both flying around turn 5 and 6. Was half 8 in the UK live race time. Currently, it should be about just on 1:30 in the YouTube premiere time in the UK. Fastest lapping each other. As Mr. Towers going past the disconnected car of Psycho. That isn't actually Psycho driving, he's being powered under control. Due to a disconnection from this race server, which is the equivalent of an engine block in race, but his Floblob then lap 30 doing quite well. He's not beaten yet, but it's been potential. He's trying to carry those hard tyres with a one-stop strategy. He has just over 5 laps to go. Depending on how much wear his tyres have, he didn't actually battle much. Most of the overtakes he did, he kind of got let through almost. The drivers were catching a lot of penalties. And even Bryars as well. Bryars didn't even fight him that much. So Floblob could carry it with first win in this league on a one-stop strategy, or he could get onto soft tyres. But I believe he's finding a one-stop strategy, because everyone else has to do a two-stop, and if he can, then he is very good at tyre whispering, which is known as conserving the tyres and making them last longer without puncturing compared to other drivers. We saw Mental Stunt had to tip from the hard tyres. Quite a few laps ago now, it's like lap 25, lap 26 I want to say, that he pitted for those medium tyres. But Floblob has been able to carry these tyres much further, but he is being closed. Look, the gap was about 6 seconds before, and now the gap is about 5.5 seconds, and ever closing. So Floblob could be in danger. Meanwhile, we're going to have a lovely battle between Mercedes now, but that's heating up again. We had a battle between them earlier, and as I said, 10 years ago now, there was the infamous battle between Rosberg and Hamilton and Austria in 2016 when they collided on the last lap. could we have a repeat of it again? Now, understand that carrying us, should I say, passing the back marker Ascar, we could have a pass between Raikkonen and Reynolds. Goes down the inside, nothing to do there. While we have weights, DRS on his teammate, separated by just over 2 tenths now, but no move made. Both of the Brackley cars separated by barely anything. They're side by side heading down the straight, and Waits gets ahead of the championship contending Mercedes of Prius. They swap places, big lockup though, for Waits, the man who took pole position, remember. And he is now blasting away from his teammate, so he has a lot of pace to use. But I don't think he's going to be able to make any gains out of it. Meanwhile, 3.8 seconds between Flobolob and Mental Sun. This gap, closing the way it is, we could have a Grand Slam last lap finish between Flobolob and Mental Sun. Mental Sun, the man who won the first race of the season and the man who is currently leading the championship by 1 point over the man in 4th place, known as Prius. The man in 3rd in the championship is currently this green Aston Martin who is leading this race. And he hasn't won a race yet. He nearly won in Spa. He won on track, but he had a penalty. This time, he doesn't have a penalty. But he is on very old tyres. And if he was in the pit now, he would come out not just behind Mental Sun, but I believe he would come out behind Waits and potentially even Bryce as well. So if he wants to win this race, he is going to have to try and keep that gap as big as he can for the next 3 laps of this race, and then defend like he has never defended in his life. Speaking of defending, we have Raikkonen looking to defend from Reynolds. We're going to keep an eye on this midfield battle, but keep an eye on that battle, that gap between just under the interval main. Meanwhile, we have there's the Aston Martin getting right up close to our rear wing in Williams. 2.6 seconds separates the leading Aston Martin from the leading V car. We have the second of the Aston Martins getting up into 9th place ahead of the best of the Williams car, the number 2 Williams car, being passed by the number 24 Aston Martin. Down towards turn 4. Is any move going to be made? Not yet. The Aston Martin goes a slightly bit wide out of turn 5, out of turn 4 into turn 5. 2 laps to go. So we could have an Aston Martin in 9th, and he is pulling away now from the Williams, so he should be in 9th. But we also have an Aston Martin who could win this race, but he has a daunting task, because he has to carry those hard tyres, and sadly we can't see how much wear those tyres are on. We can only guess. And although he pitted onto those tyres later than everyone else, was it late enough? Because now that gap is 2 seconds. He needs to make sure he can keep Flobolob. If Flobolob can keep a 1 second gap to Mental Sun by the end of the next lap, he could win this race. But if it's any lower, he's in danger. This is very close, I must say so myself. Let's watch from Mental Sun's point of view. And the number 88 V-Carb, is it going to be the number 99 Aston Martin in the green, or is it going to be the number 88 V-Carb in the white? Who will take the win? Let's see. Mental Sun here, 1.5 seconds, half the lap to go. Flobolob, it looks like he has it under control, but it is tense. It is definitely tense. He is looking at that gap every time he's on a straight and just watching that number get smaller and smaller and smaller. He's watching the V-carb in the mirror get bigger and bigger and bigger. He's looking, if he was looking behind, he'd see that V-carb just getting closer and closer and closer. He's now got 1.1 seconds, ever closing on the final lap of this race. Who will come out on top? We have the Williams in front of Allen, who's up to being lapped, and that could give DRS to Flobalog, has it done? No, it hasn't. It hasn't given DRS to Mental Sun as well, so he's kept the gap to Mental Sun. Meanwhile, Raikkonen, just looking at that battle, it doesn't look like he's going to get ahead of an Olds anytime soon, so we're not going to cut to it until the very last moment of the race. But heading out of turn 5 into turn 6, Lobalob, what a strategy and what a performance he's done today. And I don't want to jinx anything in case he goes off, but it looks like he has it under control. The Aston Martin on the one-stop strategy by 0.4 of a second clinches the win. That checkered flag couldn't have come sooner for Flobalob, as that must have been heart in mouth. One more lap and I reckon Mental Sun could have taken the win of this race. But Flobalob, third time lucky, takes his first win in Slav Talk Racing in this season. Mental Sun, great charge, but not great enough to take the win, his second, what would have been the second win of the season. Both Mercedes 3 and 4, the Constructors' Championship for Mercedes will be loving that. Mr. Towers with a great result in 5th. Then comes Arimus with the 10-second penalty in what looks to be 6th at the moment. And it will stay as 6th, as he is ahead of Derek Quay by enough. And Derek Quay beats his teammate Graham Shifty after a little bit of drama for him in the midway point of the race, as Bernolds gets ahead of Raikkonen in the last corner. And Aston Martin will not only have a win, but they'll have 2 extra points from their other driver. No, they won't, because there's a penalty. So it's only 1 more point from their other driver to add to the constructors' part in the constructors' standings. What a race for Slav Talk Racing League. It was a very good strategy watch, I must say so myself, as the wearing the leaves of victory is Flobalob. And on the first try he did a different strategy. He got into P4. On the second try he won on track, but he picked up a penalty which gave the win to Bryce. But third time lucky, no penalties, nothing to take it away from him at the moment. And after a very nail-biting strategy, he took the win by 0.4 of a second over an ever-closing Mental Sun. The fastest lap was done by your driver of the day, Arimus. Then came Bernolds with the most overtakes. The cleanest driver in the race is reported to be Derek Quay. And your race winner, finally, third time lucky, is the Aston Martin of Flob A Lob. And that is the order for today's race then. And what a race it was. As Flob Lob saying, hope that's more goated commentary from you this week. I hope so too. Hope it was alright, lads. Hello, Max. How you doing? Good to see you there. But yeah, no, hopefully I'm gonna re-upload this tomorrow. Floblob, if you're listening, I'm re-uploading this tomorrow on a YouTube premiere. I'm doing it from 12:30 UK time, so you'll be able to watch it from then. So Max playing F1 2019 with Cerno, that's cool. Wish I had F1 2019, still I don't. Sadly, I do have F1 23 though. That is one of my favourite F1 games. If F1 23 had classic cars, it might be my favourite game ever. I don't know why, I just love the way the drivers drove on that game. Oh, I love the way the cars drove on that game, should I say. But, right, that should be everything then. I don't think there's anything else to cover unless I'm forgetting something. And unless there's any last minute team radios from the drivers, then that should be all good. So I'm going to have a look just in case there's any clips of crashes. Or any replays, should I say, as well. I don't think there's any. Clips and highlights, no, none in there. Let me check. No, there's nothing else. Oh wait, there's a steward's report. Is there something? No, that's the Belgian one. So no, I don't think there's any other replays or clips to show. I might go through clips tomorrow potentially, but I'm not too sure. And yeah, that should be it then. Should be it. So yeah, thank you all for watching. And if you're watching on the YouTube premiere, thank you for watching on that as well. Hope you enjoy, and I'll be back for more commentaries later on. I think my next commentary, I'm not too sure when it is, so I'll update you all on that another time. So I'm gonna end stream. Thank you all for watching, and before I go, just gonna get the winner's car up. Showroom, that's it. So Floblob I can't even speak. Floblob takes the win after a near 2 hour and a half race. No, hour and a half race, should I say, of frantic action in Austria after being one of the only people to do a one-stop strategy, and after a nail-biting conclusion, he took the win by 0.4 of a second over the line. See you all next week. So the top three in the championship have all won a race now. Let's see how it plays out in the next race if I can find it, bear with. The next race is in not Austria, that's the one we just had. When is the season schedule? There it is. It's in Imola. Which Italy track is that? It's an Italy race, so it's on the 8th of February live race time, so the upload for it will go out on the 9th of February. But what Italian track is that? I'm not too sure. I'll have confirmation of that on the day. So yeah, catch me on Twitch for that. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. And goodbye.